So, welcome to this retail leader panel where we're going to explore how top brands move faster. Today, retail leaders, are facing increasing challenge with increases in tariffs and geopolitical shifts that are impacting supply chain and margins. Retail teams, more than ever now, need to be in sync. My name is Sally, Customer Success Manager at Asana, and I am joined today by leaders of two retail giants that will share with us insights on how they manage to transform the way they work. First, please welcome Mauro Portela, Managing Director of the Master Data Management Operations at Danone. Danone, that I have had the pleasure of working with the past 4 years as customer success, are a leader in the food and beverages industry. They operate out of 120 countries, and they specialize in the production and the distribution of dairy products, early life nutrition, bottled water, and medical nutrition, to name but a few. Next, welcome to Henry Ines, leading portfolio management at Bulk. Bulk is the leading supplier of bodybuilding supplements and sports nutrition. Their objective is to create world-class nutrition for their customers at every step of their journey. So, both of these organizations have a challenge in common: getting their high-quality products to the market in the hands of their consumers, which means that on-time delivery and with the right message are crucial. So let's start with both of you. This is a question for both of you. Can you start first by telling us a bit about your business and your respective roles? You want to start, Henry?
Sure. So my name's Henry Innes. I'm the portfolio manager at Bulk. So Bulk is a sports nutrition company, and we typically sell products such as protein powders, creatine, pre-workouts, and other sports supplements. The channels that we use are our D2C website, Amazon, and also wholesale. What we're trying to do is launch in a lot of markets. So we're currently present in 16 markets in the EU. But we've also moved into India and the Middle East. In terms of my role, I'm the portfolio manager, so I manage a lot of the large projects and make sure they're aligned with key strategic objectives within the company. And I also present a lot of status updates to the strategic senior leadership team.
Thank you. Mauro?
Yes, thank you, Sally. So you mentioned very clearly that we've been working together for a while. My role has actually evolved over these years. Today, I lead the master data operations in business services. But my story with Asana generally comes from all the different transformation programs that I've been involved in. And obviously, transformation in FMCG retail is always targeted at adjusting to the new dynamics of our consumers and our customers. So we go through quite a lot of transformation, and I do think that Asana is one of our main transformation tools, if not enablers.
Thank you. We get to that. So starting with that, Mauro, you mentioned transformation. What drove the decision to implement a work management system?
Yeah, so back a couple of years, I think to 2018, we had a really big transformation that I was leading in procurement operations. And I was the deployment director at that time, and I needed to find different ways to run a program that could be multi-geography and really at scale. And obviously, I was struggling with resources, with too many consultants, a lot of project bottlenecks, a lot of siloed information. And so at that time, we really thought we had to step change that sort of problem statement we had. And that's when Asana came in and helped us to bring, well, I think there are 3 values I put in my team every time. It's trust, transparency, and solidarity. And I think Asana was somehow an enabler of that, because all 3 of them were somehow possible to enable with Asana as a sort of a one source of truth for us. And I think that's what led to our decision to move into this type of work management platform.
I love that. Thank you. Henry, Q3 is particularly busy, and I know that Bulk is no different. Can you tell me a bit about your priorities during this period?
Yeah, so Bulk typically works in seasonalities. So there's 3 key periods over the year. So the obvious one in the fitness industry is January. We all wake up on January 1st and think, time to get in shape. Let's hit the gym. Let's focus on our nutrition.
Yeah.
The other period, which is common for e-commerce brands, is Black Friday. So not only the day itself, but the weeks building up to it. These periods never really move throughout the year, so it's really important to have a central source of truth where you can have key milestones before these periods. So there's a lot of cross departmental coordination required, a lot of planning that goes in beforehand, etc. So Black Friday is leading up, is coming soon, so it's all hands on deck at the moment.
Cool. Thank you. Mauro, after implementing a work management solution, where did you see the early impact from doing this?
So it's interesting. The impact was quite immediate. I think the main thing we observed was we started with a small team, around 3-4 people. We quickly grew to a first group of 15, and the adoption was so smooth and so fast that it was the first time I had never had to train my team on a specific software, and they had never asked for any training. They just sort of very fluidly got into using it. So the impact started a bit like that in small scale, but then I would say it ended when we finished one of our last years of deployment with 30 project go lives, where we had actually just done 2 per year before that. So it really felt like we had step changed our capacity to deliver, and Asana played an important role, if not a fundamental role, in step changing that. So yeah, the impact started to be very visible in the organization, and especially on the capacity to deliver large programs at scale in very rapid time.
Yeah. Henry, similar question to you. What specific cross-functional workflows evolved?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I'm going to give an example of a product launch that we would do at Bulk. So let's just say we're going to launch a flagship protein powder. You start at concept ideation, so you involve the product team. You then get the commercial finance team to look at the cost of goods, etc. You then involve the procurement team to start bringing in the best raw materials. You then get a separate work stream flowing in parallel, which would be the branding and creative team. So they were looking at the design of the packaging, the social media assets, the website and Amazon assets, etc. So there's a lot of different things going on. And then we have the big launch. So you want to have it really hard hitting, everything going into play. I've covered about 6 or 7 departments there. So it's really important to have this central source of truth, which is Asana, and making sure each department is accountable, on time with it and ready to complete their tasks in order to hit these key launches and for these launches to have maximum impact.
Okay. Impressive. Mauro, how did you drive adoption across geographies? I know your team was quite spread and functionally diverse teams. How did you manage to do that?
So adoption is really a big challenge in big companies. I would probably say it's still the biggest challenge when we place new software and new platforms in place. Asana's the story is very compelling because we sometimes discuss that it was very much a bottom-up adoption. So I was lucky at the time when I was driving this program I mentioned in procurement that I had access to several teams across the globe who were running the same project. And so I had a lever a bit to impose, if I may use the term, Asana as a way for us to, in a very systematic way, deliver our programs. And we built what we call this control tower that people were referring to, again, the source of truth for all the program. And so what happened actually very interestingly is that people on the field started to adopt very quickly, like we had observed in our central team at the beginning. And it just started to become something that they were using over and over again, and to many different use cases popping up everywhere. So I would say the first stage was really word of mouth, and it just made sense, right? So people really felt it was helping them on their collective goals and also on their individual keeping control of their work and not firefighting, because that was a little bit the feeling. We were always firefighting our way to go live, And it was the first time we really felt that we were in control. And I think that feeling, people wanted to replicate it, a bit like if you play golf and you hit this very nice drive, you want to replicate that feeling. And it felt like the same thing happened at Danone with many teams scattered across the world. So they obviously influenced more people. And then progressively we went from word of mouth to more and more adoption. So I would say it's bottom up. And I think still today we live through that heritage of the bottom up, which makes it very strong and robust. So users really like Asana. They see the value. But I'll wait for the advice question, because I think there is also some learnings about that. The top down is also important to make sure we can grow and sustain further.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you. And Mauro, as well, like to continue, how are you thinking about AI in the organization, and what areas of the business you think are considering it, applying it?
So I'm very passionate about the topic. I've actually been writing a little bit about it as well on LinkedIn. So if anyone is curious to read a couple of things I've been writing, but I believe that we have this what we call intelligence triad. So we need human intelligence, process intelligence, and artificial intelligence to work together
Yeah.
to make impact. And so I'm really excited about what Asana is doing. Today I'm still, my mind is still buzzing with all the AI teammate topic and how it can really help us. But I think Asana is the perfect platform to have this process intelligence, human intelligence, and artificial intelligence all together in one place. And that I think will boost its effectiveness quite strongly. And as you know, today I'm working in data, master data.
Yeah.
I think we all know that without good data, AI will just hallucinate and give you very strange outcomes. We saw this morning, context, control, those are very important elements. So I think that the fact that AI can feed off tasks and projects and portfolios and comments and subtasks is just a fantastic set of data for AI to use and to bring value. So I think I believe in human in control. So I think that the teammate concept really resonates with me. And I think Asana is actually the perfect place for that to be incubated and start to live its evolution through the companies and through different initiatives we are doing.
Henry, same question to you.
Yeah, it's a hot topic at the moment. So we use AI in general in terms of copy creation, image creation, and reporting.
Yeah.
The value that we see that we're currently using Asana for is the report writing and status updates.
Yeah.
So at Bulk, we've got a few project managers, but typically we can sometimes run 15 to 20 projects at a time. And if you have to produce status updates weekly, it can be quite time consuming. So with this new feature, using Asana AI, we're able to pull out all the information per project and generate these status updates at a fraction of the time. Two caveats, though, that I do want to talk about. As Maro said, it's only as good as what you put in. So you need to make sure these prompts for these status updates are really good.
Yeah.
And number two, you need to make sure people are using Asana the way it should be. So that involves people who are tagged on tasks to actually tick off and complete the tasks, write updates in the comments if there's something happening to the specific task. Dependencies need to be managed as well. All these sort of things. You need to use Asana for how it's meant to be used. That way, the status updates and reports that are eventually generated are of a very high standard and really useful from my point of view as a portfolio manager. I'm able to give status updates to the senior leadership team on a weekly basis.
Yeah, the click of a button.
With a click of the button. Yeah, exactly.
And Henry, again, like how has implementing the solution impacted your speed to market for launching these products?
So yeah, it's really sped things up because I know we've said it a few times, but it's the central source of truth. We've got so many cooks in the kitchen for a lot of our product launches that you need to have this sort of visual to understand where everything is, and you need to have the accountability per person.
Yeah.
By understanding that and knowing where your start and end time is per task and looking at the dependencies is extremely important. I like using the Gantt view in project timelines because you can see all the individual tasks. You can have them color coded so you know which department. But when you have, say, a daily stand-up during a big launch, you can see who's requiring what in order to hit that tight deadline. So yeah, I'd say make sure you're running the projects in real time and you're adapting the dependencies as much as possible as well.
Okay. Also, Henry, I know that outside of marketing and product, you're also using it within IT. Can you tell us a bit more about the successes you've been having?
Yeah, sure. So it took a while, but our whole business actually uses Asana. So I know I talked about an example where we did a product launch and different departments dip in, but our IT team actually uses it to triage, I guess, as a help desk. But I also want to use an example of where it was really useful. So I talked about a waterfall methodology there of pushing out a product, but the IT team actually implemented a new ERP system last year. And what they did was have this triage system using Asana. When you switch over a big system, there's typically a hypercare period, so there's going to be some teething issues. There's going to be defects that people see. What happened at Bulk was we switched over to this new system. Different departments would notice, something's not quite right. So what we did is have each department fill out an Asana form, which would filter straight into this hypercare board for this system.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you've got 100 defects listed in one place. This was really useful because you need to act fast because your business wants to push on forward and get back to business as usual. It was especially useful for all the project managers because we were able to see all the new defects arrive, assign a priority, and tell the developers, right, you need to go fix this first, etc.
Yeah.
It was also useful for my role because I was able to report upwards and say, listen, we have now covered 5 priority 1 tasks. Tomorrow we're aiming to do the next 3, etc. So we have this data in real time, which was really useful.
I sense an ticketing AI teammate fit there.
Yes,
Tremendous.
absolutely. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to what Asana teammate can really do, AI teammate can do.
Great. We're actually getting to last question. What advice for other retail leaders do you have around transforming the way they work and implementing a tool like Asana?
Sure.
Mauro, you want to start?
Okay, I'll start. I'll kick it off, and then we'll see where it takes us. Yeah. I think so. I'll go back to my first adoption topic. So the bottom up, I really think, has been super successful for us to get the buy-in from people on the field that are users, that are people from the business. But I think if any advice I would give, especially in bigger companies and retail, because of the dynamics and the speed, is really get the buy-in from the executive level as well. And this can be challenging because Asana is obviously competing with a lot of other tools that are somehow perceived as overlapping or doing something different or the same. So it's important to actually really very precisely explain what Asana can and cannot do. But the buy-in from executive level is very important, so that eventually when the top down is materialized, then the bottom up is also there. Then it sort of creates a sustainable path of growth. My second advice would be, I think Asana probably for me personally the big value is the agility aspect of it. So agility with a bit of low code or no code. We can even say that, I think. So the fact that we empower teams from the business to themselves build workflows, to themselves sort out business problems, is a very, very powerful tool. And we sometimes neglect the fact that giving this type of democratization of a tool like Asana to business people, it can really create a lot of value because there are so many problems that are so small that executives don't see. And this is the type of technology that can help people sort out sometimes small problems with big impact. And so I think agility is something to look at and to probably sell from the start. And that probably my last piece of advice is sell the value from the start because it's very difficult to sell it at the end. So I would definitely target showing value from the start.
And also defining what is value.
Yeah.
And agreeing what is value for you as a team or as a company investing in a solution like Asana. Yeah. Henry.
So my biggest tip would be to take the time at the start when adopting Asana. So what I mean by that is each company is different. So you've got your different personnel, you've got different workflows, different sizes. It's best to take the time to see what works for you. What's going to drive the best efficiency. Once you have that set up, my next tip is then to make an official, I guess, way of working and then train people up. The tool only works if everyone's working unilaterally. I keep on saying that word wrong, but working at the same time, trying to use the tool properly. Once you have that, you'll notice that you'll get more buy-in and then efficiency within the company, and what you're doing will improve. So those are my two biggest tips.
It's amazing. Thank you for your valuable insights. As we've learned, the transformative power of a robust work management system cannot be overstated. We've learned how Asana has really increased efficiency and collaboration within these two organizations. And we believe that all retail leaders can harness these strategies to enhance the way they work, to stay competitive in a rapidly changing market. Thank you so much for your attention.